Hello and welcome to Bounding into Comics. My name is John Trent. I'm the founder and editor-in-chief at Bounding into Comics, and I'm joined by my assistant editor, Spencer Wakuli. How are you guys doing today? How are you doing today, Spencer?
Doing well. Running on autopilot. I do the same thing. I'm used to Don being here as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I was referring to the chat, though, so...
Oh, yeah, that was too. So he was still right. I was wrong.
But yeah, we're missing Don today. But we'll have him back on Wednesday, and hopefully Drew too. But I do see we have some folks in the chat already. The evolved form of Lopter is here. Drakir saying Hadouken is here as well. So thank you for joining. Father Christopher Miller is here with us. Hail!
Hey, Father.
You went live. Yes, I'm glad the notifications are working. Yes, we just went live, and we're going to be talking about the canceling of Dr. Seuss by Dr. Seuss Enterprises. It's almost like it's almost like they're copying Disney. Let's
just a little bit, you know.
Let's call our own
company named
garbage.
After a famous artist, just crapping all over his work. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, let's call our own work garbage and then try and sell it to you. Okay. One has to wonder if it's not a marketing ploy for those 6 books for people to massively just go out and buy them because they're saying they're not going to sell them anymore.
But then wouldn't that just be all the profit would just go to the secondhand market, like with the Gina figures?
Yeah, unless they have them unless they have a huge distribution already ready to go, and they're selling them to Barnes and Noble and whatever.
And it's quote unquote, this is the last batch, quote unquote.
Right. It was like what Disney used to do with the vault stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
Remember? They put stuff in the vault so you would never get it.
Dumb. The vault was done. They just got done.
But I don't think that's the case. I really don't. I'm just trying to, that's an optimistic view, I guess, or a hopeful view, super hopeful view. That is obviously not the case. The Dr. Seuss Enterprises canceling these Dr. Seuss books is purely cancel culture, and the culture of fear that we kind of is pervasive among these corporations and these people making these decisions because they're afraid, I guess, of a small bunch of weirdos on Twitter, shouting at them.
What we talk, you bring it up pretty often on Bounding Live, and I always follow up. Twitter's not real life, but they think it is. So
yeah,
they listen to the 1% of the 1% of Americans who are on Twitter.
Yeah, and if you don't think that they aren't paying attention to Twitter, Gina Carano talked about it with Ben Shapiro, and she talks about how she got someone sent her an email, and they were focusing on that on the hashtags on Twitter and seeing what was trending. So these Disney's obviously doing it. I would not be surprised if these other corporations are doing it as well. And this is obviously a coordinated hit job too, I think, because you had the Loudoun County schools going after it, and then you have obviously doing it on Read America Day, and then on top of it, doing it on Dr. Seuss's birthday.
That goes hand in hand with Read Across America Day.
Right. It's I think you wrote in, you were a little, I think you could have gone a little harder there. I think you said in your article it was tastelessly.
Yeah.
They did it. I don't know if that's not how I would describe it. I would say that is disgusting. Disgustingly did it. I think it's sick. It makes you want to vomit almost. It makes you nauseous.
It really does, especially because, and we'll get into it, but they, according to the Dr. Seuss Enterprises, they claim that they made this decision last year. So why would you wait an entire year and then do it on Dr. Seuss's birthday if you weren't going for maximum, essentially, damage?
Right, to your own brand. Right. 100% agree with you. But we've heard this before. Twitter's not Twitter. Rotten Tomatoes, I think, is the better example. Remember after Captain Marvel, they're we had this whole rework of our entire rating system in the works, and it just so happened to be that it would basically radically alter the scores for Captain Marvel and the huge audience backlash, basically to Brie Larson's comments about men, which were heinous and are still heinous. I don't think she's actually said a lot of crazy stuff like that anymore. Maybe she. We'll just have to wait till Captain Marvel 2.
I was gonna say there's
on the press tour again. So yeah, yeah, Father Christopher Miller is saying I call Balderdash. Yeah, it is. It's Balderdash. But Night Raptor, thank you for joining us. That's not a name I recognize, so I'm glad to have you here. We have a couple of folks that I don't recognize. See, Andy, Cyber Leader, is here as well. So let's get to Andy first. He has an interesting question. So a Seuss organization wants to destroy their whole back catalog. How stupid can they be? Yeah, so I'm not really familiar with the Dr. Seuss Enterprises, and I know you wrote the article. Can you who are the Dr. Seuss Enterprises? Is it like the Tolkien estate, and they're the people who kind of manage
that's
all
exactly
of his
what it is.
work?
It's essentially the corporation that manages his estate. It's done like that rather than how Tolkien does it, like it's an actual company. But yeah, it is, for all intents and purposes, the Dr. Seuss brand now.
And Andy Cyber Leaders, they're destroying their whole back catalog. Yes, they are. I mean, interestingly enough, they didn't go after like the big books like Grinch or what is the egg one? Sam I Am, two eggs in ham or whatever. The fish one, red fish, blue fish. And then there's the green eggs and ham, red fish, blue fish, and the Grinch. I feel like are the biggest ones, right?
Yeah.
So they didn't go after those. They did go after the Cat in the Hat though, with the Cat in the Hat question. So I'm getting ahead. Let's go and pull up the article so we can look at the 6 books that they are canceling.
Yes.
And we can read their statement as well.
Sure. Wait, where'd you go, Window? There you are.
Yeah. So this is on the website if you want to check it out later.
So here's their statement.
Yeah, let's can we blow it up a little bit?
Blowing it as much as I can.
Night Raptor says I'm a fake Seuss fan. I'll readily admit it's been a very long time since I've read Dr. Seuss, and my baby daughter is not old enough. I mean, I guess she is, but we haven't been reading any Dr. Seuss to her yet. But yeah, so here it's that's great. I can clearly read that. So March 2nd, 2021, statement from Dr. Seuss Enterprises. Today on Dr. Seuss's birthday. Yep. So they're we're going to make it clear. Dr. Seuss Enterprises celebrates reading and also our mission of supporting all children and families with messages of hope, inspiration, inclusion, and friendship. We are committed to action.
Got the diversity bullet there.
Yeah, but they have inclusion. It's the same
I
thing.
know exactly. That's what I'm pointing out.
It's very easy to find out when your company is like woke because they use this garbage woke language. They don't even hide it when the company's converged, and it's clearly they are. And then they're making actions to show that they are as well. So we are committed to action. To that end, Dr. Seuss Enterprises working with a panel of experts. Okay, including educators. Doubt they're actual real. They might be teachers, but I doubt they're actual educators. Or they might be professors or whatever, but they probably aren't actual real educators. Just like I guess we'll get to that a little bit later. But a lot of this I think is based off of this like garbage academic study, which it's just like it's a political screed. Reviewed our catalog of titles and made the decision last year to cease publication and licensing of the following titles. So if you made that decision last year, why are you announcing it today? As you previously asked Spencer, it's like, why? It's because like the only reason is that you want to have maximum exposure to these books, to this, and do the most damage you possibly can to your brand, similar to Mr. Potato Head and Disney and all these other, Coca-Cola, the list, Nike, the list goes on and on and on. But yeah, so here are the following titles. And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street, If I Ran the Zoo, McElligott's Pool, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, On Beyond Zebra, Scrambled Eggs Super, and The Cat's Quizzer. These books portray people in ways that are hurtful and wrong. No explanation of how they do that.
Zero explanation.
Because they won't.
They
won't
never
tell you
do.
Why.
We've been saying it for a while, but we've been really on it since the Christina Ariel stuff. These, like, nobody will ever point out what they're canceling, what they're deleting, what they're editing. They'll just say it was bad, trust us, and they don't allow you to make that decision for yourself.
Yep. Ceasing sales of these books is only part of our commitment and our broader plan to ensure Dr. Seuss Enterprises catalog represents and supports all communities and families. So this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
So, to me, that's what it sounds like. They're going to do way more. So, and they seem to be committed to that.
Are they gonna make new Dr. Seuss books with diverse casts? Like, is that what they're gonna do?
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is they're going to redraw.
Yeah, that's what
with words, maybe. Yeah, they bring in some like new artists or something. And I don't know what the legality of that is. That maybe they can do that. You said that they kind of run it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's something in there about them owning it and they can do whatever they want. I'm sure, but
yeah, we have a bunch of folks in the chat here are making fun of them. OC Steve says no more Lorax Toxic Harry male figure. Horton protected the Who's. He's canceled too. You bet.
Well, yeah, because the Who's historically had some bad views on the Sneetches, so of course, since Horton defends them, he has to cancel.
Night Raptor. Oh, hold on. We'll get back to Night Raptor a little bit later, but I do think he makes a good point there. AJ Borkar. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Apologies if I am. But Maximum Virtue Signal. That's a new name.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Yeah, but it's not just a maximum. It's a virtue signal. But like they said, it also is a virtue signal with action. They are actually taking these books out of print. So that what's available now is what you had. Like, you won't be able to get new copies. And dare I say, this is kind of equivalent to book burning. I don't know if I might be going a little bit too far with that analogy, but when you're just kind of
I might say that's a little too
printing something. But you're not going out and like collecting the other ones, but you are saying that they are awful, and you're recommending that people probably shouldn't read them, and you aren't going to be printing them anymore, which is interesting. I wonder if another company will like pick it up. And
I don't think they can because it has to go through Seuss.
It has to go through them. So I guess maybe when it goes into public domain, if those laws actually still matter. But yeah, Andy Cyber Leader is already saying that the Cat's Quizzer is now hundreds of dollars on eBay. Can you pull that up? Let's pull up eBay real quick and look at this stuff, because this does not surprise me. I think this is kind of the same thing with the Cara Dune figures.
Like the night we were writing about Cara Dune, the night she got canceled, her figures went to like $600.
Yeah, I can only imagine that antique stores that might have Dr. Seuss books now. Woo! $450 on the high end there on eBay. 304, 112.
This one has bids and it's at 300.
Yeah, wow. 20. What is it? 26.
200,
500 right there. Wow.
Buy it now, ridiculous. Oh, this one actually has $500 in bids.
You moved it. Which one?
Oh, sorry, right here.
The one that's $495. Oh,
no, this one that I've highlighted.
Yeah, I see that now. 510. How many bids? 44. Wow.
Yeah, people want it.
Dang, dude.
Let's see what else is there.
Look up the other ones.
If I ran the zoo, getting up there, 300-ish.
412.
410.
289. 410, yeah.
Damn.
So those guys at 55, they need to up their price. They're lowballing it.
I know, for real.
Yeah, Luis Morales points out is a good point here. This is why kids and adults are reading Japanese comics. Manga is more focused on the story and characters, with details and designs as toppings that are relatable, understandable, and easy fun. Well, I think that Dr. Seuss is kind of fun too. I
think Seuss is kind of a different thing.
Yeah, this stuff is classic stuff here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this stuff has been around for decades. Classic stuff here. But yeah, when you're talking about modern stuff, 100%. I mean, I don't know if you looked at my story yesterday about My Hero Academia. Almost over half of the main manga are sold out on Right Stuff. It's out of stock. And then I think probably about 5, I think it was like 6 or 7, I might be estimating on the high end there, are part of the NPD book scans top 20 adult graphic novels, and that includes what's published by DC and Marvel. And there's absolutely zero DC and Marvel stuff on there. In fact, there was only one North American, one non-Japanese book on there, and that was a George Takei like memoir hardcover.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that was the only one that was on there. That's an update.
That's less from when we looked like just a month or two ago.
Yeah,
like from 2 American titles.
Yeah, from October, I think. Was when you did that, when you covered that.
Yeah. As an aside, don't let anybody ever like point to those sales charts, like the MPD adult graphic novel charts, and say, "I thought comics were dying." Ha ha ha! Because it's not comics; it's manga. Yeah, it's all manga.
Yeah. And then I wonder. I'm tempted to just kind of like go to their to ICV2's Pro just so I can see the top 100.
Dude, right?
For just a day, and just like grab all that stuff and just see how horrible like Marvel and DC is.
Dude, that's not a bad idea.
So, but yeah, they're canceling. I mean, this is just another victim in what is going to be a lot more. I've been saying this a lot for the past couple of weeks, but I think I've been saying this for the past couple of years. Honestly, this is going to get a lot worse before it ever gets a lot better.
100%.
And so yeah, Dr. Seuss. They got Dr. Seuss. They got Mr. Potato Head. they're gonna keep coming for this stuff because they like to cater to these Twitter people. So let's go back to the story and we can kind of point out like why we think, or why you think they might be canceling them, because you wrote the story here, and I kind of pretty much agree with you. Yeah, see, man, there's nothing wrong with our thing there, because like the H2 always is smaller. It should be bigger.
I know.
I don't know what's going on there.
But,
that's actually H2 header tags.
Let's go through them. So the first book is To Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street, and again, as John said, and as I pointed out earlier, nobody has said why they canceled them. Nobody from the Dr. Seuss Enterprises. Nobody speaking to the press. So everything that we're about to say is our speculation, but I'm like 99%
based on cancel culture. Yeah.
Yeah. Based on everything. I'm like 99.98% sure.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if it was not these examples.
Right.
So, and To Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street is the first one. And it's only for this one image right here, where there's a Chinese man in the bottom left, and he's described as a Chinaman who eats with sticks. And he's stereotypically dressed with the long ponytail and the hat.
And he's colored.
And he's yellow. And that's it. That is the entire reason for this book being canceled. And I would like to remind everybody that Dr. Seuss...
I mean, there's a Sultan guy too there. Huh? They might get in with the mustache.
Oh, the Sultan guy. Oh, yeah, maybe the Sultan guy.
I
didn't even see him. I know
the guy with the turban. I don't know if he's a sultan. I don't know.
Well, I mean, he's right. Look at how majestically he's writing.
Yeah.
I do know that at the Dr. Seuss Museum, where they've got a bunch of art exhibits and history and stuff, they used to have this specific page as a mural on a wall there. And I think like a year or two back, they had to remove it, or remove the Chinaman specifically. He's no longer there, but the rest of the mural is.
Wow.
But like what I was saying, keep in mind as we go through all of these that Dr. Seuss was writing these in like the 30s. This book is from 1937. Attitudes were different then, and you can't really judge the past by a current day lens, because it's
Night Raptor also says, don't forget the stereotypical dorky white guys playing dorky instruments. I guess they're band guys, band geeks.
Yeah, there's band dudes. What I'm more surprised at is that the instruments are just instruments and not ridiculous.
Yeah. Drakir says that the guy with the turban is at Seek. So yeah, that's possible. I don't know. He's just wearing a turban. I'm not going to make a judgment.
Dr. Seuss draws a couple vaguely Middle Eastern guys, but never says like he's this or that or from here.
All right.
So that's that one.
Yep.
And then if I Ran the Zoo, which was written in 1950, you've got this portrayal of 3 Asian guys who he refers to in the book as with helper, or I'll hunt in the mountains of Zomba Montat with helpers who all wear their eyes at a slant. And that's referring to the
it's also he's also rhyming there too.
Well, of course he is.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get it. Like slant is a pretty,
Yeah.
like it's offensive now, but it wasn't back then. It was just the terminology of the day.
Right.
And then you have in the same book, you have just these two African tribesmen who are bringing this tufted mazurka to the zoo, and obviously they're just drawn really stereotypically. Again, 1950s, kind of what happened back then. Then you have McElligot's Pool, which is literally I had to read
This one is so ridiculous.
Dude, I read this book 3 times through because I couldn't see what it was. There was nothing offensive, and it has to be this, where there are it's just Eskimo fish, just fish dressed like Eskimo, like stereotypical Eskimos, I guess.
Dude, if they're canceling this book because of Eskimo fish, man, they're gonna be like, my Eskimo kisses are gonna get canceled.
Oh, dude, I'm sure. I'm wait. Now that you brought that into existence, I'm just waiting for the hit piece tomorrow.
There's probably already one out there. Come on, Mary Sue's got it already written. That's just that's so that one is like probably the dumbest one.
Oh yeah, the Eskimo fish one.
That's the real reason.
1,000% the dumbest one.
All right, so then we got I mean they're just trying to stay warm in the ocean there. It's cold up there,
dude. Exactly, and they're just swimming to McElligot's Pool. There's nothing offensive here.
Yeah.
And then we have On Beyond Zebra, which is just a book where the main character starts inventing his own letters to go past Z and describes things like random things with them. And we have the Nazim of Bazim, a completely fictional title, a completely fictional place, but the guy, like John was pointing out, dressed in stereotypical Middle Eastern clothes.
He looks like one of the wise men.
Yeah, like that's what I got from it.
Like Balthazar, Melchior, and oh my gosh, what's the other one? Father Christopher Miller will help me out. I'm blanking right now. But yeah, he looks like one of the 3 wise men.
Yeah, wise man. Again, nothing really. There's nothing offensive here. He's just dressed in vaguely Middle Eastern clothes,
and he's on a fictionalized camel.
He's on a spasm.
Spasm. Caspar. Thank you, Father Christopher Miller.
Of course, yeah.
Is it Caspar or Caspar?
And then we have, which one is this? I believe this is Scrambled Egg Super, the follow-up to Scrambled Egg.
Okay.
And you just have this one guy named Ali, or Ali, however you want to say it, and he's just dressed kind of like Aladdin.
I was going to say Prince Ali.
Yeah, exactly, right? That's exactly what it is. That's all it is. It's literally this, and then there's one more page where he's running away from a flock of birds. That's it. Again, no reference to where he's from, no commentary on that. Just he's a Middle Eastern guy.
Yeah.
Or vaguely Middle Eastern guy. And then, of course, the Cat's Quizzer, as was brought up in the beginning, features the question, how old do you have to be a Japanese? And then there's a Japanese guy wearing a conical hat, the rice paddy hats that we all wear.
Come on, the real reason why they actually canceled this one is the question on the left.
To be a Girl Scout?
No, look, how old would you have to be a Boy Scout to be a Girl Scout? It's giving you a binary option. That's the real
shoot, you're right. Dr. Seuss, gender's confirmed.
I saw that and I was like, okay, maybe, but I guess you could be offended for how old you have to be, because 0, when you're Japanese, if you're ethnically Japanese when you're born,
just because he's drawn with the hat, honestly.
Okay, yeah, I would for me, I would wager it's that question there on the left is probably more offensive.
The only reason I don't think it's a question is because the Seuss Enterprises referred to imagery, specifically.
So they got the boy and the girl, right?
I mean, I don't. Yeah. I'm not seeing it.
But yeah.
I think it's funny. I don't know if it was anybody actually caught that, but I definitely think they caught the Japanese one.
Yeah, that's possible. But I mean, so then if it's the Japanese one, are we canceling pretty much all Japanese RPGs?
Yes. No, that's exactly what that's the point I was about to get into, is that if you look at all of these examples, they're just kind of representative of that culture. I mean, yeah, the African tribesman one is a little outdated, and you don't want to refer to Asian people as, you know, slanty or slanty-eyed, but I again, like John said, do we just cancel? This is the question I've always had since all of this crap started, is like, where does it end now? Do we not allow anybody who's not Asian to wear a kimono? Do we not allow anybody who's not black to listen to rap? Like, it's that kind of craziness. Because then you go, the more you start putting those restrictions on, the less quote unquote representation you're going to get. If you start saying, oh, it's offensive for you to, you know, draw black people or draw Mexican people, then people will start avoiding it, and then you'll start seeing less of them. And then you'll have the same people going, wait, why is there less of this? You're a racist. And it's like, can't win. You can't win with them. So don't ever give in to them.
I'll answer your question. It doesn't end. Just look at the Cartoon Network PSA that you covered last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was.
Be anti-racist. See color.
Yeah. You're going to get a lot more of that. A lot more of that. Yeah, Father Christopher Miller. We did that in the Daily Stupid. Spencer covered that yesterday here on the channel.
Oh, is Father Miller talking about the poet? Yep.
Yeah, the poet, the Dutch translator. Yeah. So that was, yeah, we did that. But so along with them canceling Dr. Seuss, so this is why I think it's all coordinated. The president of the United States, Joe Biden, also did a proclamation for, what is it? Reading Day or whatever? Read Across America Day. And there is absolutely no mention of Dr. Seuss. So can you pull that up real quick, his proclamation? All right, you got it there. So we can just, do you want to just do Control F? It's like Dr. Seuss, and it's not there.
Or I'll just do Seuss. Nothing.
Oh, you're in Firefox.
Phrase not found.
Yeah, so it's not there. He doesn't use it. I talked about this in the Daily Stupid if you want to watch that earlier, but there's this line that he says that I just it popped out at me.
Oh yeah.
He says, literacy is essential to finding a good paying job. Yeah, you can highlight it if you want with your cursor there. Yeah. Literacy is essential to finding a good paying job, advancing in your career, and carving out your place in the middle class. And to me, that's just like, yes, you can only achieve the middle class, you peasant, and
that
be
is
happy with it.
1000% how I read it.
Don't look any higher than your allotted position in our society that we are now building. And it's just like absolutely horrible. And if you pull up, compare that to President Trump's speech from proclamation from 2020, he ends it with a Dr. Seuss quote, which is I think the mountain one, on the way to the mountain or whatever it is.
All the places you'll go.
Yes, all the places you'll go. Yes, he ends it with that. He says right here, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. So get on your way. Like, that's such a contrasting message from Joe Biden. Joe Biden is like, suck it, take it in the middle class, you peasant. And then President Trump here is just like,
and like,
go above the mountain. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, if you read all the rest of it from 2020, he has things like necessary or literacy. Read Across America Day is a celebration of the joys of literacy and an important reminder that we must make every effort to ensure that our nation's children receive the necessary education in reading and writing to cultivate the skills they need to pursue their American dream.
Exactly.
He doesn't put a ceiling on it.
Right. No ceiling. Go as high as you can. Completely different there. It's,
and even down here, this critical funding will allow states and school districts to focus on the needs of their students, including literacy and language arts, and will make a difference in the lives of students and communities across our nation, empowering them with the tools and knowledge to fuel successful careers and fulfilling lives. Completely different. Completely different sentiment. It's
not like stay in the middle class.
It's not like aim for that because that's all you can get.
Yeah. So Barack Obama also has had multiple mentions of Dr. Seuss.
Well, I mean, even in 2019,
office too.
Trump mentioned Seuss.
Yeah, this is Trump. Yeah. Well, I think he does it in all of them.
Oh yeah, he does it in all of them, and Obama does it in all of them. This one's from 2015.
Yeah, that's Obama. So let's pull that one.
Obama.
I haven't looked at this one. The works of Dr. Seuss have sparked a love for reading in generations of students. His whimsical wordplay and curious characters inspire children to dream big. and remind readers of all ages that a person's a person, no matter how small. So like even there, that's so much better than what Biden is saying. He's like praising Dr. Seuss and showing that what that reading can do and how it can inspire you and to dream big. Inspires you to dream big.
Wow,
no limit on that.
Whoa, look at this statement. Brilliant writers enable us to stand in someone else's shoes and identify with their hopes and struggles, even if they do not look like us or share our beliefs. I'm done. I quit.
Yeah. This is President Barack Obama writing this. This is he probably had a speechwriter writing, but he approved it.
I know, right? He put his name on it.
But that was, look how far we've come in when is this, 2015?
So 6 years now? 6-ish?
Yeah. Six years.
Oh yeah, considering
now we're canceling Dr. Seuss because of what did they say? The imagery hurts me.
Hurtful imagery.
Yeah.
Or harmful imagery.
Hurtful imagery.
Hurtful and wrong.
It's just absolutely it's just insane. It is. It's absolutely bonkers. And I don't want to get down on this because I do think that that this is going to continue. You're going to keep seeing it. It's hard to fight back on something like this. I'm not really sure how you can just keep showing your kids, sharing Dr. Seuss books, letting these people win by doing that. As far as like any kind of like direct action, it's hard to say. I know we did an article earlier this week where Jack Posobiec recommended canceling people back that are canceling stuff, but it's kind of like, I don't know if you really want to cancel Dr. Seuss for them canceling their own books. For this one, I think you just have to kind of share the messages of Dr. Seuss to people.
Don't buy new.
Spreading it. Yeah.
Support your secondhand bookstores if you're looking for a copy. Don't buy new. And maybe wait a little bit until the prices go down.
I don't. And if you have them, like cherish them. Make sure you're holding on to them. Help share them with your family, and friends. Don is saying Curious George is next. Let's pull that up here. I know I didn't have time to look at this one. I saw it, but I didn't really.
I know what. Let me find it. It's just a reference in an article somebody was talking about.
I couldn't find out what article it was in. I know it was someone tweeted it and they screenshot it without telling you what article it's in. I hate when they do that.
I hate that.
It's like, please source what you're doing so people can actually look at it. That's one thing we try and do. I think we do pretty well, actually.
We do. We are the best on that one, hands down.
We not only source, we will put screenshots to show you, and that's why they come after us.
Why they hate us.
So Mary Margaret Olahan, I don't know who that is, but she says I hate it here.
He is the social issues writer for the Daily Caller.
Oh, Daily Caller. Okay. She's Catholic too. Lots of Catholics. So she says, I don't know where this is from. I'm sure it's in like the Washington Post or like New York Times or some paper that thinks that they're better than us. They say critics have also faulted the Curious George books for their premise of a white man bringing home a monkey from Africa.
Like, I want you guys to read that. Read that sentence and then look both of us, me and John, in the eyes. Look your loved ones in the eyes and try and convince them that the people who are doing the canceling aren't the fucking racists themselves. Holy shit.
To me, for me, this I'm just like, dude, I guess Tarzan is canceled too because he was a white man that they brought from Africa to England, right? Is that wrong too?
It's the other way around.
Tarzan
ended up in the jungle because of a crash.
Right, but then they get him, they bring him back.
Right, but he's not African.
Right. But yeah, well, I think it's Madagascar, right? Which is, I guess that's on the coast.
Yeah, it's off the coast, I think.
But I'm just saying, like, yes, I know he's not like from Africa, but he grows up there. He's raised there by the gorillas, and then they take him back to England.
I think they'll have more of a problem. That it's a white guy.
Well, right, obviously.
Why is Tarzan got to be a white guy? And then you'll have why is Tarzan got to be a white guy? And then somebody will make a black reboot of Tarzan, and then that person in 10 years' time
will get canceled for their racist depiction. That's what we're looking at right here. The Overton window keeps moving, and but soon enough, things published 5 minutes ago are going to be canceled.
They already are. I mean, every time. Remember, Gina's tweeting, and they were canceling her for her tweets. You already have that. People post stuff on Instagram you don't like. They're trying to cancel them. Yeah, I mean, Night Raptor, I understand your opinion on Obama 100%. I get that. But we were just trying to point out that how different his proclamation was compared to Joe Biden, and even he was praising Dr. Seuss, whereas Joe Biden doesn't even mention.
We need way more than 5 masks by November. By November, CDC recommends putting a bag over your head.
I'm pretty sure San Diego's not happening. Like,
oh no, they already canceled it.
Yeah, I think I saw a statement about that.
I don't know. I mean, I'm from San Diego, so I get a lot of local news in my Twitter feed and stuff. But I was apparently last night they were doing a news report of so they went on location and they were like, you can see the convention center behind us. They're not opening this year, blah, blah, blah. And then behind them, there's a police shootout. It just starts.
Oh my gosh.
Like in front of the convention center. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, how those lockdowns going?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Obviously, people aren't following them. But yeah. So I mean, yeah, this is just. I mean, it's hard. It's hard for me to even get angry over this because I know this is going to happen. I know it's going to continue to happen. And to me, it's just you got to just keep shining a light on this stuff and showing how horrible and awful it is. And hopefully more and more people will see it and realize that, and realize what's happening around them is not good. And to be fair, I think a lot of people are recognizing this. I have a video in the hopper. I probably won't put it up until I think Gary says 2 hours after after this live stream ends. But there's a new Harvard CAPS poll that says I think it's 65% of people who responded to the poll say that cancel culture is a threat to freedom in America. So not only is cancel culture a bad thing, over 64% of people think that it is a threat to freedom. And it is. It is a threat to freedom. I'm shocked that it wasn't higher, honestly, which to me goes to show you that the news media and public education probably more so have had a significant impact on how people view cancel culture. And
peaceful protest.
Say that again.
I said. Remember, they were mostly peaceful protests.
Oh, right. Yeah, mostly peaceful.
No, but that's exactly what it is to me, John. Is that the number would be higher, but we do see, especially you and I being in sort of the media sphere, how strong their attempts to manipulate the narrative are by saying cancel culture doesn't matter. What's their freaking favorite line? Well,
they're now saying it doesn't exist.
Yeah, they say it doesn't exist. It's not cancel culture. It's consequences culture.
Yes.
And I want to slap every single person I've ever seen use that word.
They're trying to take actual justice and turn it on its head, because you can get there are reasons for people to get fired. Committing crimes are bad. Being saying racist comment, actual racist comments, I think is probably a legitimate reason to fire someone. There are legitimate reasons to fire people.
It just so happens that nobody is ever attacking those people for that, or not. Right. Sorry, attacking is the right word. They get at these people for nothing of that sort.
Right. It's like they're canceling Dr. Seuss for stuff yeah, you might take issue with some of the depictions, but for the most part, he's they're inspirational children's books that make you want to dream big.
Right. There's no message in his books that says racism is good or this race is lesser. In fact, like I said in my article, The Sneetches is one of the most famous anti-racist, or I don't want to use that word because that's full of crap, but one of the best stories that teaches racial, like how to interact with other people, not just races, but just different people from you. And it's a matter of time before having a star on a sneeze is offensive.
Yeah, so like I also like there's also this contradiction within the these people who are cancel. I think Don likes to call them cancel cultists. I'll call them wokies because they're children. Whatever you want to call them.
If you're on the stream, you have the exclusive privilege of being asked right now. Help us settle this debate. What should we call them?
I think we can call them both because they're both good apt descriptions.
Oh, they both work, absolutely.
But so you on the one hand, you have like we can't show this, like this is like a horrible, awful depiction, and on the other hand, like only these people can play these people and look like this. It's like what? What are you talking about? Like how does that work?
They're pushing for like we've seen it all before. They're pushing for segregation, and it's starting with the media.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's coming from the media. I actually think that most
I meant that their starting target is the media.
Oh yeah, media as in like our entertainment and stuff like that. Is
exactly.
That what you mean? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Sorry, but yeah, and the media is definitely like the media, like the actual like news people
for sure.
are definitely pushing it. But I still think a lot of it comes from the universities and the teachers and. There was I wanted to highlight this because I think Night Raptor. Yeah, here it is. Night Raptor said this. I have taught in the public schools. 90% of teachers are trash or useless babysitters. I can probably. I know I sat in college classes with a bunch of people who were aspiring to be teachers, and they were some of the dumbest people I'd ever met in my life. And I would never want my kids or anyone I knew to be taught by them. So I can just imagine that. And I guess I have a little bit of a different perspective because I did go to Catholic school from kindergarten through 8th grade. And then I went to public school in high school, and it was worlds apart. The difference is insane. The level, the standards are crazy. And the high school I went to, they actually renamed it now. They just renamed it recently. It used to be Stonewall Jackson. But it's been renamed something else. I don't know.
Unity High School.
Yeah, that's it. How did you know? Did you look it up? I think that's what it is. I think it's actually like Unity High School.
Is it really?
I think it's something like that. It's like Unity, and then like someone who worked there's name. It's like Unity something. I think that's what it is. But when I went there, it was like the year before. It was like on Time Magazine #1 high school of the year. But when I went there, like I was bored out of my mind for my first 2 years. Wasn't challenged at all. I was already way ahead of like the curriculum. And so like I totally like it's public schools too. It's not just it's not just the high schools, and we're seeing or the universities, and we're seeing it almost like they're going after Dr. Seuss, which is aimed for like toddlers. Like Dr. Seuss is like for toddlers, and they're going after that now, and Curious George and stuff like that. And then I think I don't know if you have this up, but our favorite Star Wars author, Justina Ireland. I don't know if you have this. We didn't actually do a story on this yet.
Yeah, I can grab it. I know where it is.
Don shared. I think it was Don that shared this with us. She's doing. I guess she has a children's book too. So there's definitely they're going after like toddlers now as well. Like it's not just high school and universities. Yeah, here it is. I got a disgruntled email angry that I put, man, how did you just pull this up so fast? I got a disgruntled email angry that I put politics into a children. You have to have this like bookmarks. And the email closed with children's books should never have politics. Friends, all books contain politics, even kids' books. If you give a mouse a cookie is literally an anti-socialist manifesto. So I have no idea what this children's book is, but obviously she has a huge political message in it, and she's trying to push her political message in it. And everything I know about Justina Ireland, I would never want my kids reading that.
Oh no,
whatsoever. Given the stuff that she says on Twitter and her opinions that she expresses there. So there's they're definitely coming for you. This is an all-out assault on multiple levels, and it's coming from the media. It's coming from corporations, and I don't think it's going to get any better anytime soon. But we still have to be here to stand up, put a light to this, and start saying that this stuff is wrong. In my video, that's going to come up later. I ended by saying be courageous, and I think that's something we really have to be. We have to be courageous, and that means sacrificing sometimes. It means putting yourself out there to be at risk for these people to come at you. You have to be courageous. You have to start training yourself to have the emotional discipline, the strong will to be able to just kind of tell these people you're wrong, this is wrong, and stand up for that. And I think it's really one of the things that I think we really do a good job here at Bounding Into Comics, and I'm glad that we do that. And I just hope that we can just inspire more people to do that, because this is a huge problem, and it's taking over, especially American society. I know Luis was saying it's everywhere as well. It's everywhere else as where it's happening in other countries as well. I know for sure it's happening in Europe. I see it with the British media all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
They're worse than our media.
Oh, they're way worse. I mean, they've got their policemen doing like gender patrols or whatever, or like offensive word patrols. So
that stuff that's happening over there is just absolutely insane. And then Australia looked like it was doing something, but then they caved to the big money, Facebook stuff. But yeah. So I don't really have anything else. We're a little over 45 minutes now. We try and keep these between half an hour and an hour. Do you got anything else to say?
Just kind of what John said. Be courageous in standing up to this. Support the things you want to support. Don't give these people your money. If you want to buy their classics, obviously, like I said, go secondhand. Support independent retailers or just your friend who's selling some books at a garage sale. But I know a lot of people, there was a sentiment about, I would say maybe 5 years ago, where it seemed like we were really getting to that breaking point of cancel culture, where it seemed like a lot of people were done, just like fed up with it. But we reached that point, and instead of continuing that line, it kind of gave up. So anybody holding on to that optimism still, I would recommend probably letting it go and just kind of opening up to seeing what is happening.
I'll push back on that. I think you still can be optimistic, but there's going to be tough times ahead.
Oh, I mean, you can be optimistic about life. I mean, specifically about this stuff.
Yeah. But I do think that like the tunnel is really long, and it's going to be filled with like lots of traps and like dangers movies. and boss battles and you're gonna have to like get through that. But the treasure is at the end of the tunnel.
It is there. Yes, I'm totally in agreement with you there.
So I know people like to call this the Black Pill stream, but I hope that kind of the treasure is there at the end of the tunnel. The tunnel is just very long and dangerous, but you can get through it. And if you ever feel like you're alone, know that you're not. There's lots of us here, and the battle continues. So, all right, thank you all for joining us. I hope you guys are enjoying these daily streams. We kind of just started doing them yesterday. We won't have one tomorrow because we'll be doing our Wednesday night Bounding Live at 9 p.m. Eastern. But we'll probably pick them up again on Thursday, and then I don't know if we'll do it Friday, because Friday we have our review stream. But we'll definitely do something again probably on Thursday.
But again, let us know what you guys think. We're trying a lot of different stuff here at Bounding Into Comics this year. We're trying to become better than ever. So let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see, and keep coming by.
Yeah, and if you want to support us even more, there is the join button there on YouTube, where we have YouTube memberships. We have a couple different perks, including membership only or members only live streams, which we are going to get starting off this month, and we're looking forward to that. So if you want to do that, you can do that. But again, we also have the website. We're updating that all the time. So, and then I'm doing videos every single day as well. And then of course we have our Daily Stupid, which we have a lot of fun doing. And Spencer's gotten in on the act too, so that's even more fun. But again, thank you all for joining us. And I hope you have a great day. And we will see you tomorrow at Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, right back here on Bounding Into Comics.
See you then.